Can a pizza ever save a person's life? You'd probably smile and say, "Impossible!" But the story you're about to hear proves that sometimes an ordinary pizza order can become the final bridge between life and death. This isn't a movie. This is a remarkable true story of kindness and humanity. In a quiet town in the U.S. state of Oregon lived a man named Daniel Parker. He wasn't very social. He preferred living a quiet life by himself and spent most of his time at home. However, there was one habit that never changed. Every single night, Daniel ordered a pizza from the same nearby Domino's store, the same restaurant, the same time, almost always the same type of pizza. This routine continued for years. Over time, Daniel became more than just a customer. Everyone at the store knew him. The cashier would smile as soon as they heard his name. The delivery drivers knew his address by heart. Whenever his order appeared, someone would often say, "Daniel's order is in." Everything seemed perfectly normal. No one imagined that one day the routine would suddenly stop. One day, Daniel didn't place his usual order. No one thought much of it. Maybe he had gone out. Maybe he was busy. But the next day came, and still no order. Then the third day, the fourth day, days turned into 11. Now the employees began to worry. This isn't like Daniel. After knowing him for so many years, they realized something had to be wrong. The store manager decided not to wait any longer. He asked one of the delivery drivers, "Go check on him." A few minutes later, the driver arrived at Daniel's house. Everything outside looked quiet, but the lights inside were still on. The television could also be heard. He knocked on the door once, twice, again and again. There was no answer. A feeling of fear began to grow. The driver immediately called the store, and they contacted emergency services without delay. Police officers and paramedics soon arrived and forced the door open. Inside, they found Daniel lying unconscious on the floor. He was so seriously ill that he couldn't even respond when they called his name. Without wasting a single second, they rushed him to the hospital. Doctors immediately began fighting to save his life. A few hours later, one of the doctors told his family, if he had arrived just a little later, we wouldn't have been able to save him. Think about that. Just a few more hours. The difference between life and death. After the incident, everyone asked the same question. Who saved Daniel's life? The answer surprised everyone. Not a superhero, not a wealthy person, not a famous doctor. His life was saved by a group of ordinary employees at a pizza restaurant because they didn't just take orders. They cared about the people behind those orders. There are many people around us who live alone. Some have no one to check on them. Sometimes a simple phone call, a knock on the door, or just asking, "Are you okay?" can be enough to save someone's life. This story reminds us that kindness is never too small. A little care, a little attention, a little sense of responsibility. These simple acts can make the world a much better place. So, starting today, take a moment to check on the people around you. Because you never know, your small act of kindness might one day become the greatest miracle in someone's life.